All right. So we're live now. Go on ahead and take us into the show, Loke.
Welcome, ladies and gents, to yet another episode of They Said We Said. Uh, I'm Loke 7. We have Ham Solo with us and Cozy Beluga. Finally,
Hit that fucking like
finally,
button.
it looks like it looks like we're done. It looks like we're done with showcases. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment the hell out of the comment section. Before we
Oh
start, as
yeah.
usual, Ham, what have you been playing this past week?
So this past week, as a lot of people know that have been keeping up with our show, I was in the hospital with my daughter, so I didn't have a whole lot of time to play, but I did fit in some time for gaming, especially during the times that she was asleep. I dragged my PS5 up to the hospital with me and a TV and kicked it in the bedroom. So like when she was passed out, knocked out and whatnot, I beat Uncharted 3 and I was playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey through remote play with my Xbox at home. So my Xbox was already plugged up at home, connected to it with my phone from another state, and and was playing. I thought that was pretty dope. But that's pretty much what I've been playing. Also, just started Uncharted 4 since I beat 3, and played some TMNT Turtles with some people recently. The last people I played with was like Noof Nukem and a few other guys within the gaming community. Really fun game. I was playing with only four total people, including myself, and it was hard to see my own character. I could only imagine what 6 people co-op is like. It's probably just pure madness.
Isn't the chaos good? The chaos? You gotta say it like that. Chaos.
The chaos.
Chaos.
Oh goodness. Okay, Cozy, what have you been playing this past week?
I think Killer Instinct. I've actually sat down and played that. Killer Instinct and Fallout 76 have been most of my week. And don't ask me what's going on with Animal Crossing, because my town is not ready. It's not, and I'm frustrated, so I kind of set it aside.
Okay. Welcome, Stankma. First, as usual, welcome to Big in the chat. Says, what's up, Loke and Stankma? How you fellas doing? I'm doing great. Oshus, welcome, man. Appreciate it, bro. I've been playing Elden Ring. Started an Archer build yesterday or the day before, I think. And yeah, Elden Ring and NBA 2K22, the career mode. That's pretty much what I've been playing. As Stangmo says, the graphical jump from UC3 to 4 is insane. BTW. What is UC again?
Uncharted.
Oh, yeah, Uncharted, fool.
Right.
Swear.
Right.
Jeez. Acting brand new. Did you start playing games yesterday? Did you play your first game?
Dude, I'm just saying, I've never seen anyone use an acronym for one word, but okay. Let's kick it off with Diablo Immortal. Now rated 0.3. When I wrote the notes for this, it was 0.5. Now it's 0.3 on Metacritic.
I'm loving the chat already.
Yeah, it has officially gained the title of having the worst user score on Metacritic with over 2,500 users, bringing the score down to 0.3. In just under a month of its global release, though, Diablo Immortal has passed 24 million in total revenue for Blizzard, thanks obviously to the microtransactions. Diablo Immortal has also hit over 10 million active players to date. Okay. Or some late breaking news. The game was actually scheduled to release in China on the 23rd, but has been delayed. Blizzard is stating that the release is being delayed so that it can work on a variety of different issues. The work in progress apparently includes optimization to general player experience, networking, and fixing performance issues. Blizzard is also trying to increase the graphics capabilities of different mobile phone models, as well as making the game more accessible to a wider range of models. Whew! Cozy.
Uh,
Sorry, before you jump in, Too Big said, Loke said to spam the chat, got you fam. Lock. Really? That's what you're calling me now, Lock? Christ.
Yes.
Osha says, yes, Cozy, that's the spirit. Get on that key. So did you like? Okay. Okay, so Cozy, tell us about Diablo Immortal 0.3 on Metacritic. People are crapping on it, but it's making tons of money. Go.
I mean, yeah, it's good. I mean, not good. I think it's bad. It sets a precedent. But it's doing exactly what they set it up to do. It's setting exactly up what it's supposed to do. It sets up a really awful precedent though. Which is going to be a problem in the future.
Would you like to expand on that, or is that all you want to say?
Because if something bad makes money, we know in gaming, it changes the way the gaming landscape looks for that sort of thing.
Oh, as in people will start copycatting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this could be a good thing because with Microsoft, that means they'll be taking over if things go through. Then I see a benefit to it, like them possibly being enough complaint. But as it stands, like we see how Blizzard, how EA, how all these companies are. You know, we see on a regular basis. They let us know that they don't care about us. They just want our dollar. And they'll do anything to get it.
Okay. Ham, tell us why Diablo Immortal is Game of the Year.
Why it's Game of the Year? No. It's not Game of the Year. Not the same year Elden Ring's here. No, it's just not.
Okay, so what are you
from what I hear, it's a great game for a lot of people, but the microtransaction aspect of it is just ruining the look of the game for lots. John Wolf is one person I know that likes that game, plays that game quite a bit, and from what he said, you don't need to do the microtransactions to get further and far enough to the game to where you can progress and, you know, be able to be on a fair playing field and whatnot. But like,
so it's not pay to win.
No. Ham, let me be more specific. Sorry to cut you off.
Sure, go ahead.
The game you don't need the microtransactions to finish the single player section of the game. You need the microtransactions if you're going to go after endgame and PvP.
Ooh, see, I mean, yes. That's a big difference because I mean, obviously, what I heard from John Wolf was for the main game. I had no idea about
the main game. You're fine.
I had no idea about the stuff with the end game and stuff like that. So that's a big oof. That is a big oof, and I mean, I don't even know what to say at this point for games that do all these pay to win things. I mean, it's unfair because obviously the majority of players aren't going to be able to really take advantage of that kind of stuff because, I mean, a person like me, I'm not paying no microtransactions and stuff like that to feel like a winner or getting W's or anything like that. So if that's any part of the game, you can count me out. I'm actually, while we're talking about Diablo, I am waiting for Diablo, what is it, 4 to come out? The one that's...
Yeah, but like I said last week, there was a recent job posting for Diablo 4 where they were looking for someone that's going to execute the monetization side of Diablo 4, and it was clearly stated in the job description that it is one of the pillars of the game itself. one of the main pillars of the game.
Yep. That's
So
what I meant by
if you're
bad precedent.
if you're hyped for Diablo 4, bruv, it's not
Yeah, that's
easy.
what I meant by a
You're
bad
telling me to
precedent.
be nervous. In other words, you're telling me to be nervous for that game.
Really?
I mean, no.
And-
So
and
yes,
you know
it
what?
made a lot of money.
I will still I will still play Diablo 4 with friends and whatnot, but once me and the homies and all that stuff get to the point where it's like, yo, it's pay to win, I'm out. I
think,
just won't ever do that because there will always be somebody with a bigger pocketbook than me. So I'm not even compete in that aspect.
So if it's not my issue, not that even if it's pay to win, it's that, you know, if I'm paying all this money for a game and they load it up with all sorts of microtransactions, I might as well just play a free-to-play game because I know plenty of free-to-play games I
That's
enjoy that, you know, I think, honestly, I mean, I don't hate all microtransactions. I get it in some instances, but for me, it's tacky. It's like, yeah, I just paid, you know, however much to play this game, and it's just got microtransactions everywhere.
I feel that, and I like what you said, Cozy, because what I think this will do eventually is spark up competition to come out and make a similar type game, make it free to play, and have all the microtransactions that they already have, but it feels more fair because it's free.
No,
Yes.
but Diablo is free. Diablo Immortal is free.
No, I'm not talking about Immortals. I'm talking about 4.
We're talking about 4.
Oh.
So like if they come out with Diablo's 4 being like $70, and then they have similar transactions as they do in Immortals, there will be somebody to come out and be like, yo, we competing with you on a platform now. And the microtransactions are there, yes, but the entrance is $0. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Kind of like
fair
what Splitgate did before Halo came out. You know what I mean? Like Splitgate already came out.
Yeah.
They were already free and everything like that. And yeah, Master Chief Collection was on Xbox and that didn't really have any microtransactions yet. But now that Halo Infinite dropped, it's got a lot of catching up to do because, you know, it is free to play, but you know, like there's not a whole lot of content versus another game like Splitgate that has just as much, if not more, content. You know, it kind of stepped in front of it a little bit. Not to say that Splitgate is a Halo killer by any mean. I'm just saying that is an example. I'm just saying that's an example of somebody stepping in front of you right before you make your move.
Yeah, they definitely took some players away from Halo. They definitely took some players away. Let's go to the chat real quick. Stackmore says, Game of the Year, relax. I was just playing, bro. Relax. You need to relax.
Wow.
Steve Watson, welcome to the chat, bruv. Just says, Ham, that's what xCloud is for, bruv. Well wishes to your little one.
Appreciate it.
Amen to that. Too big. That's why I dropped off. Last arc, pay to win takes away all the fun and the grind.
Oh, Lost Ark is pay to win? Ew.
Yeah, that's bad. Stangmore says microtransactions in Diablo just sounds crazy to me, to a lot of people, but you better get used to it. Steve Watson says, I think if it was easier to get higher tier gems without paying for them in Diablo Immortal, there wouldn't be as much criticism. I don't know. For me, as long as you tie progression and leveling up to money, you've already lost a whole chunk of like people, including people like me. I'm out. But I have a tricky question to ask both of you, Ham and Cozy, and everyone in the chat as well. If you're a shareholder for Activision Blizzard, how are you feeling right now with the negatives and the positives around Diablo Immortal? Be honest. Cozy, go first.
It's a complicated question because I think a lot of I don't want to get all like, oh, the evils of capitalism, but a lot of the principles involve basically quick growth as fast as possible. Not like, how can we sustain this long term? Like, how can we plan things out years? Like, so, you know, it's easier to get that burst, but then, you know, if you can't maintain it because of the way it's set up to like quickly extract money from people and the hype and all that, then it's a problem. If you create a smaller game, like, in fact, that's actually what was impressive about Pokemon Go as a game. It made money off of less whales than most games like.
Oh, we lost you.
Okay, but I'm curious about something. Did Pokemon Go actually want you to spend money? Because I remember a lot of people were saying like you don't even have to spend anything and you can be like
Well,
S tier in
that's the thing to
Pokemon
me
Go.
is like you have.
It was actually optional.
I feel like these companies need to figure out a way to make microtransactions to where you want to buy them, but they're not exactly gonna make you, you know, immortal or like unstoppable and whatnot. Yeah, like that's a tricky thing to do, is because it's like, well, you want to pay for your character to get some benefit out of it. And skins and clothes and stuff like that for your character isn't exactly screaming buy me. I feel like maybe it would be cool if a game like Diablo, like if you want to have like some sort of pay aspect to it, maybe add more moves that you could maybe interchange throughout your character to make that something that you pay for. So it's like, oh man, I'm paying for this move, that move, and in another move. That's really cool. But I can work to get a whole set of other, you know, moves and power-ups and stuff like that without paying. So like let me use this for a little bit of clarity while Cozy figures out her thing, because our situation is looking crazy right now without her being here. Yeah, it's all off balance and everything. But anyways, hi, I'm still right here. You can see my face. What I'm getting at is like, think of a game like Call of Duty, right? A game like
You're
Call of
about
Duty.
to compliment Call of Duty right now.
Call of Duty, you have a crazy assortments of guns, right? Most of the guns, you know, I mean, if not all the guns, are pretty fair to play with. I think it'd be cool as a transaction, microtransaction or whatever, to add into the game where you're using maybe other guns, where you can purchase other guns to possibly be able to use instead. So, damn, where the fuck is Cozy at? but like to get like so. Like remember back in Modern Warfare 2 and 3, you could use like the Barrett sniper rifle, but they don't have that anymore. It'd be cool to see that like implemented in, so you have a gun that nobody else can have, or they'd have to purchase to get, but it still works within the line of the game. So you'd be
okay with guns being sold as microtransactions?
Sure, yeah, because that's a different way to attack, or that's, you know, those are still fair aspects to the game, but at the same time you feel like you have something that nobody else has. So like, to me, for like a Diablo Immortals or Diablo 4, like if you said, you know, you get all of the basic stuff right here and you can grind to get this stuff, but the stuff that you're absolutely not going to get is behind a paywall. It's just as strong as A, B, and C attack, right? But it just has different animations, looks a little bit cooler, or something like that. If you have that locked behind the paywall, I feel like that would be, you know, fair, right?
Okay. Oh, there's patient zero. Okay, so okay, Stankmore actually answered the question. Thanks, Ham. All that, but you didn't answer the question. Stankmore says, as a shareholder, as long as it's perceived as a sustainable business model, they'll love it. Will it be? Probably not, but time will tell. Stankmore, you still didn't answer the question. If you are the shareholder, are you happy with what you're seeing?
Oh,
Lots of
absolutely
money
not.
in the bank account,
I
lots
mean,
of money in the bank account, but all this turmoil outside.
I
That's what
feel
I want to know.
I feel like what Cozy was trying to say is in the short term, yes, you feel good about it, but you're nervous about the long term effects of it because in the short term, people that have the money will spend it and get that stuff that they want. But in the long term of it, you know, the people that spend the money on that stuff are gonna come and go. And then it's just gonna be sitting there being expensive and no one's gonna
Lambasted.
want to buy it.
Okay.
And at that point, then they're gonna have to start lowering the amount on the transactions and stuff like that. And then people are gonna be like, well, why was it that expensive in the first place, or why was this locked behind the paywall in the first place? And
Mm,
and as a person that holds shares in it, I feel like you would be excited for the short term, but nervous for the long term. Does that make sense?
yes, yes. Actually, Oshis says something similar in the comments. He says, if I'm a shareholder, I'm laughing all the way straight to the bank. However, no mistake about it that your brand will suffer in the long run, like Battlefield, Halo, COD, etc. I would like to push back against that, Oshis. Before Battlefield 2042 came out, they had record amounts of pre-orders. But before that, everyone was just saying Battlefield is crap. Halo, same thing. People saying the Halo was dead for years. And then Infinite comes out, record number of people jumped on the game, people bought the game, etc. COD, same thing every year. People are bitching about Call of Duty. And then what happens? Call of Duty comes out and it sells bonkers. So as far as affecting the brand, I'm not 100% sold on that one. Stackmore says no. Guess you're replying to me saying if you're a shareholder, you're happy. You're saying no. You're one weird shareholder. That's what I will say for you, man. Not happy about making money. What? Okay, me personally, if I'm a shareholder, I am delighted. I am delighted because truth is, most gamers don't stick to all this controversy. The hardcore side of video games will not interact with your game anyway. But everyone else, they're gonna buy
So you wouldn't be
the
nervous. You wouldn't be
no,
nervous for the long
no,
term effects of all of this.
no,
Why
no,
not?
dude,
Why not?
no.
Answer that.
I just a sense that like the what happens is this is my vision of the gaming community as a whole. 20% is people like me and you, Ham. People that play games and finish the games, and we pay attention to the soundtracks, the monetization, the gameplay. We put like a lot of ourselves into the game. Okay, the rest, the other 80%, they buy Call of Duty games every year. They Some of them don't finish the campaign, and then they spend whatever money they spend on battle passes and all that other stuff, and they're good with it. They don't get into the meat and potatoes of video games because I'll use myself as an example. Most of the people that I know are still shocked when I show them like Assassin's Creed Origins, a game that to me and you is ancient. When I show them that no, Assassin's Creed is not over, there's still this. A lot of people that only play the big bangers, they don't know about niche games like Scarlet Nexus, etc., etc. They
You're right.
they focus they focus on games like Diablo and whatever and FIFA that show up on these gigantic posters because they don't have time or they're not that passionate about video games the way me and you are, you know? So they'll buy Diablo Immortal, they'll click a couple of times, and when the notification comes up to pay that $24, they'll pay. Some people pay $2,000, some people pay $200, but the crux of the matter is the majority of the video game consumer percentage really doesn't care about all this microtransaction furor that we are having. Most of them are just having a good time and spending money, and they're cool with it. And when Diablo 4 comes out, they're gonna buy it. So as a shareholder, you look at all these trends that came before. As a shareholder, I'm very chill right now. I'm chilling. I'm thinking about which yacht I'm gonna buy to replace my previous one. That's how I'm feeling right now as a shareholder.
You extra relaxed.
I'm very chilled right now.
I mean, those
Okay.
are fantastic points, but I still see, as a shareholder, that you're thinking as of right now, hey, this is really cool, but I'm still keeping an eye out on the community on whether I need to sell this shit or not.
Nah,
because that's still an option. You can sell your shares.
Yeah. But I'm talking long term, because that's the real concern that you and most of the chat brought up. Long term, bruv. Let's be real. None of these franchises lose value because of a dud that is full of microtransactions. It's just me, you, K Mega, and the rest of the guys that are fronting and complaining and and then, like, as soon as the sequel comes out, you see the numbers that Immortal's pulling in already. 24 million in 1 week. 1 week. Seriously. What are you going to say?
That's that short-term effect, though.
Exactly. The short-term effect has the same effect as the short-term rage. Because everyone's pissed off right now. Everyone is pissed off right now. When Diablo 4 comes out, we're going to be right here again. And I'm going to be telling you again, Ham. Diablo 4 makes 50 million in the first month. I mean, with a beautiful, well-created game like, what's it called? The game with the guy on the bike and the zombies and whatever. I'm forgetting the name.
Days Gone? Is it
Days Gone?
Yeah, Days Gone.
Yes. When a beautiful game like Days Gone comes out and makes 7 million. 7 million. And then Diablo makes 24 million. And Days Gone made 7 million in a year. Diablo made 24 million in a week. You need to stop focusing on the publishers and start looking at these people that are spending money on this stuff. So as a shareholder, I'm sure I don't have the millions of resources and statistics that Blizzard might have, but I'm sure at the shareholder meeting, there's probably some genius dude making a presentation, making it very clear to every single shareholder there, like, yo, don't worry about these guys on the internet and whatever. Don't worry, man. Don't look at that.
Don't look at that.
Don't worry. That's fake news. That's fake news. I have the ballots. It's like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all this stuff. That's that's social media. I have the ballots. The people have voted with their wallets, and we will forever continue to focus on that as a corporation. So when someone comes up and gives you that presentation, how are you going to then be panicking and be like, oh, I need to sell. Dude, every second that goes by, it's just cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. I want to buy Blizzard stocks right now. I don't care about no sexual harassment or whatever that's going down. Truth is, most gamers also don't care. So why would you care as a shareholder? That's my take as a shareholder. I'm just saying, as a shareholder, the customers are showing you that sexual harassment doesn't matter. So why would you care?
That's an interesting point, bro. A cringing point, but an interesting one to say the least.
It is dark. It is dark. At Stackmore says, and in a month, most of those people would have dropped it. Yes, but in a month, you've made back development cost and your profits. So that's fine. Osha says, so the issue though becomes brand fatigue, man. Activision and EA are the living proof of this. Tony Hawk died, Guitar Hero died, and Crash also eventually died. The only thing they have left is Call of Duty. That's not true.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not sure if Crash died as much as it just stopped being developed.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, just because they stopped making something doesn't mean it's dead. GTA is not dead. They haven't made one for almost a decade now. Would you say that's dead?
And the whole Tony Hawk thing, I'm not sure if that's dead as well, because that was a choice by Activision to cut that off, not the choice upon the people. The people want that.
Yes.
Game.
Yes. In terms of
sales, if you advertise a new Tony Hawk, I mean, that's selling. That's selling. And then also on a Guitar Hero, I feel like if you brought that back now, especially with all the new, consoles and the power that we got and all the, creative minds that are around, I feel like that could easily be revived. Easily be revived.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. I'm sorry, Oshus, I don't agree with you, man. Like, these things are dead, figuratively speaking, but not literally. The developers just stop making the games, because Tony Hawk would give Activision a profit of like 5 million. Call of Duty would give them a profit of 100 million. So they're like, what are we doing? And then they left it. Doesn't mean it's dead. Doesn't mean it's a bad game. It also says something about the gaming industry, where it's not enough to make a profit. Now you have to make like 50 million, 100 million profit, right. 200 million profit.
Yeah. They're not I mean, because not that long ago, you seen Capcom praising Devil May Cry for 5 million copies sold. Right? And that was through sales and everything. It wasn't at $60 a piece.
Yeah.
It was throughout, like, going on sale for like $40, $25, whatever. And it really just depends on the scope that they have of the specific game. So I feel like a company like Activision Blizzard is leaning into microtransactions because that's where the money is, not so much because Tony Hawk's not as hot. It's just like, how would you monetize a Tony Hawk? How would you monetize a Crash Bandicoot? I feel like you could easily monetize a Guitar Hero, definitely because of licensing and stuff like that. You can definitely monetize that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was microtransactions pretty much back in the day, because you had to buy a whole nother disc just to download it, right? So, I mean, it pretty much was microtransactions. It just was in a different form. It wasn't of downloading. It was of you going out and buying a hard copy of a disc. So that's why I think, personally, that a Guitar Hero has plenty of room to come out and do something. They just need to get them licensing and all that shit set back in order. But as for a Crash or a Tony Hawk, in a way, I kind of agree with you, Aussie. But at the same time, I disagree with the dead part of it.
I 100% disagree.
I disagree with the dead part, but I agree with the how are you gonna make the same kind of money as like a Diablo or a Call of Duty, because you just can't with those. You just can't.
Yeah.
There's no way to buy something and Crash that's gonna make you feel great. Like, I don't think so.
I don't know, man. They'll figure it out.
Spin the other direction.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's go back to the chat, and I have to say a big thank you to everyone that's interacting. You guys are now almost like the co-host today. Thank you very much. Keep it up. Steve Watson says, but that's because they've been living off of GTA Online. GTA Online made more money by itself than GTA 5 and RDR2 combined. GTA Online has become Rockstar's main focus and is hurting single player side of the house as a result, for sure.
Oh,
For sure, I
100%.
agree.
100%.
Yeah, and we should
It
celebrate
sucks.
companies like Capcom. We should celebrate companies that just want to make a profit, and they're not looking to make all the money in the world.
Well,
These
well,
are
well,
companies
well. Look,
that we need to get behind.
this is why people hold Last of Us. People hold like games like Plague's Tale and just like single player experiences. This is why people latch on so tightly and say, you know, this is the way to make games, is because the single player experience of the game is what brings you into these possibilities of like multiplayer experience with like microtransactions and stuff like that. So like when you see a Grand Theft Auto make a single player game, you're like, oh man, I want to play that. And then you hop into the online part of it and you're just like, well, yeah, it is what it is. But there's gonna always be a large portion of the, or maybe not even a large, but maybe a quarter of the community, which is a crap ton of people for like GTA Online and stuff like that, that stick around and they'll keep buying these shark cards, keep buying this stuff. You hold the game main piece as the love, the piece of why you came here. But then when you add in an online aspect to where you can have microtransactions and stuff like that, that may shy or get some people into it, but at the same time, that's a huge money making factor for a company like Take-Two or Rockstar or whatever you want to call them exactly, to come in and make this next game even better. And but the problem I feel like Steve is currently having is the focus on online compared to the single player. We haven't seen it damage it quite yet. We've just seen them repeatedly drop the same game over and over and over. We have to wait until GTA 6 comes out to say, yo, you really took a step in the wrong direction. I feel like Steve is a little early on saying that it's hurting single player at all.
Yeah. Let's go to the chat. Osha says you guys are talking about revivals. Those games weren't deemed profitable enough. Exactly, look. Yes, exactly. They weren't deemed profitable enough, but it doesn't mean that they weren't profitable. Ergo, they weren't dead. Steve Watson, damn, this dude is prolific. He says Capcom has done a great job with their comeback. Agreed. They figured out what they were doing and learned from it and have essentially reinvented themselves. Yeah. I want to point out that Rockstar Games actually canceled the plan. Yes, they did. Those bastards. They did. And they announced that they were going to do the single player DLC. And they canceled that for online stuff. There was an article that came out. Yeah.
That is kind of a stick right there, though.
It's an old story. It's an old story, but it still stings. Because I remember reading that and my heart broke. The expansion was supposed to have an apocalyptic San Andreas with Frank and Lamar navigating the zombie-filled streets. Oh, that would have been fun. It involved a significant alteration of the map and a zombie version of Trevor. Oh, Christ. I would have wanted to control the zombie version of Trevor. Oh, man. RIP single-player games. Okay, let's move on.
I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet to say RIP single player games.
Leaning into the hyperbole.
Because stopping a DLC sucks, yes, but everyone's gonna still remember the experience that they had with the original game, and they'll still be back for the next single. They'll still be back for the next single player experience. And GTA 6, mark my words, is gonna crush GTA 5 in the terms of like
day one sales
and stuff like that. Absolutely.
For sure. The amount of people that have jumped on GTA Online like randomly and now have fallen in love with the format and how it works. I think there's more people playing GTA now than when GTA came out, or when GTA 5 came out. So when 6 comes out, it's gonna be everyone on that side day one on GTA 6. That's what's going to happen. Now, whether it's gonna be a good game or not, because I honestly I have my doubts about GTA 6. I think GTA 6 will come out with a GTA Online focus right out of the gate, and that is gonna screw it for a lot of people that want to buy GTA specifically for the single player. I think the people that are going to buy it for the online will be fine, but the vast majority of people are going to buy GTA 6 for the single player, and it's going to be the worst GTA mainline campaign that we've ever had. That's my prediction for GTA 6. Osha says, I believe both the Hauser brothers have left. Yes, they have. Rockstar, so I can tell you now the next GTA isn't going to be what we used to. Yeah. Steve says, if I had the blessing from Strauss Zelnick's Greenlight 3 project for Rockstar, I'd do Bullet 2, Midnight Club, Reboot, and Manhunt. Midnight Club would get slaughtered by Forza, but Bullet 2 and Manhunt, oh yes. Oh yes. That would be delicious. That would be delicious.
I'm not sure if Midnight Club would get slaughtered by Forza, though. Because,
it would get killed.
Because it
would get killed.
The reason I say that is because it's a multi-plat game. So it'll be on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. And I feel like the direction that Midnight Club goes, at least that I remember in like a game like Dub Edition, that is not even anything like Horizon, like Forza Horizon. Like Forza Horizon, like,
that's what I said. That's why I said Forza. Whichever one you pick, it's gonna slaughter. Even like even GTA 7 will get more sales than Midnight Club.
See, I just don't believe that, because just the name carries weight of Midnight Club. People are going to be
Does it though?
It does.
Does it though?
It does. And it really depends at the end of the day with the marketing behind it. So if you market something correctly, it'll get a lot of sales. It just has to hold up after, you purchase it and whatnot. I think if you were to try to recreate some sort of Dub Edition where you can do, real cars, nitrous, body kits, and it feels more arcade-like than a Forza, where Forza feels arcade kinda, but it feels really technical at the same time too. So I feel like if you kind of, I feel like if you were to stuff all of that technical crap into a glove box and just lock it away and just keep it old school to where you're just buying stuff and leveling up as you progress, and if you ever played Midnight Club, you meet different people and you do races for them and stuff like that.
Yeah. I played Midnight Club. For me, it was the poor man's Need for Speed Underground 2. That's what I got from it. I wasn't really impressed. And why I'm saying it's probably not gonna do bonkers is because, like I said, the gaming community is fragmented, and the vast majority, when it comes to racing, they know just 3. It's Gran Turismo, Forza, and Need for Speed. Okay? There's a reason that Grid is, in my opinion, one of the best racing games ever. But no one talks about it. Because it's not enough in the age of information and all this marketing. It's not enough to have just a very good racing game. You need a lot more than that. And Midnight Club doesn't have the mystique that those 3 have. So a lot of people are just going to skip it. For real. I ain't tripping.
Grid is
delicious.
Grid has a hard time, more or less. time out. Grid has a hard time more or less because there's so many racing games where it's you, the course, and the car, and that's it. There's a lot of different racing games. You got like what is that? Assetto Corsa or something like, I don't remember how to pronounce that name exactly. You got all the Forzas, you have all the Gran Turismos. I mean, there are so many freaking games where it's just you, the car, and the racetrack. Where Midnight Club could make a big deal is, have a New York where you're actually going through the actual streets. I mean, it did that in the original games. You had Paris, London, you had, LA, you had all these like realistic cities. And the issue with a Grid game is you don't have the chance to just drive around and just chill and ride. You do in Forza Horizon, but that's like one of the few that you have the opportunity to do. They're bringing back Test Drive. You can't tell me that you can bring Test Drive back right now, but Midnight Club is an issue.
Ham, I stand by my word. The same way I told you that Redfall was going to be mid and it'll be dead in 12 months. I stand by what I'm saying.
I'm sick
Midnight
of your
Club,
disgusting slander with fucking Redfall. Get the hell out of here.
Listen to me. One, either Midnight Club doesn't come out because Rockstar Games, or two, it'll come out and it'll be mid as hell. Welcome at Matt Likes Games. We just here chilling, man. Chilling, talking about Rockstar being the best publisher on the planet.
Oh Lord.
At Steve Watson says Midnight Club could put cars in there and you'd see on the streets of LA or Chicago as well as Ferraris and Maseratis. It's nice to dream. It really is. Let us move on. Let us keep it moving. Okay, I was gonna jump into the Nintendo thing, but we're gonna give Cozy
from that L.
Bite me. We're gonna give Cozy some time to come back. Let's move on to the third subject that was supposed to be the second. Halo Infinite Co-op on schedule for 2022. Okay, before we go there, Matt Likes Game says Loke needs to stop it with his disrespect. Redfall is gonna slap, especially on Game Pass. It'll slap for a hot minute. There's gonna be millions of people playing Redfall, and then it'll be dead in 12 months. At Stankmo says, yeah, Redfall looking a little suspect. Thank you very much. There's someone reasonable in the comments. Osha says, Ham on point with that. Midnight Clubs needs to come back. Ugh.
I'm just saying,
Steve Watson.
There is Test Drive coming back, and you aren't even whispering about that game. You ain't saying nothing about that being okay or not okay. But I tell you what, if Midnight Club came back, it would have the streets buzzing.
You would buy like 10 physical copies just so you could try and drive it up.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. I wouldn't do that.
Steve Watson says Midnight Club would be fire if it came out as a PlayStation exclusive. Okay, if PlayStation got Midnight Club, hold on, let me finish. If PlayStation got to like support development for Midnight Club and had it as an exclusive, I think that game would slap. I think they would make the first story racing game that people would be intrigued in playing since like Underground 2. Yeah, I think it'll be that good if PlayStation supported it. Again, Steve says because they don't have Forza or Drive Club anymore. LOL. Okay, cool. Matt Likes Games, a ton of hot minutes. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, man.
A lot of hot minutes.
There's a lot of minutes. There's a lot of minutes in a year. Just saying, FYI.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of hot minutes until Redfall 2, right?
Oh my god. Here we go. Halo Infinite Co-op on schedule for 2022. basically the developers confirmed that the update is on schedule for this year via Twitter. Ham, are you looking forward to Halo Infinite co-op?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna play the hell out of that. I mean,
Okay.
that's
Follow-up
why
question.
that's why I play Halo. That's why I play Halo, is for co-op.
Oh god. Follow-up question. Do you believe that the co-op will come out this year?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
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 Would you
I
put
do.
your money on it?
Would I put my money on it? Yeah, I'd put all of $50 on it.
Damn.
That's
Damn.
it. That's
I'm not
it.
betting money on that. I'm not betting money on that. Hell no. Hell no. Okay, let's go to the chat for a minute. Madlax Game says the first Sad Dead racing game. Wow. Midnight Club is getting a lot of shade in the comments. Just put Abby in there with a golf club. Oh yeah, that sounds like a PlayStation exclusive to me. Osha says PlayStation exclusive. Hell no. Yeah, man, capping for your Xbox. Matt likes game. Steve Watson says Matt likes games. Lol. Log 7. No to what? Oh no, you don't think it's coming out this year? Okay, we're in the same boat. It won't. 343 dropped the ball. Oof. Osha says they'd ask you to pay real life prices for aftermarket parts if Midnight Club came out on PlayStation. That's cruel. It's called Midnight Club, not Gran Turismo 7. Rel, welcome, Rel.
Yeah,
Rel says GT7 was a flop because of microtransactions. They would do the same to Midnight Club PlayStation. Damn, so much hate for PlayStation. Jesus. Steve Watson.
Speaking of microtransactions, though, Midnight Club could get away with microtransactions like crazy if they did that for certain cars to purchase and whatnot, just so you're trickling that money back. Because all these. Well, to me, I was thinking, some of these car companies might be looking for some revenue for certain cars to be in their game. Because they don't like, so like for instance, what was it, like Toyota or something like that didn't like their like cars being damages or modded and stuff like that. So they wanted
really.
I think it was Toyota that wanted that. It was either Toyota or Nissan or something like that. Like had like a big deal with EA and Need for Speed, I believe. I think it was. I could be wrong, but anyways, I feel
that is sad.
I feel like that could be a real good like entrance back into getting some of these car companies to be willing to have like their cars, their like OEM cars modded and and stuff like that. So they're getting some sort of benefit of being in the video game and having their cars be tinkered with. Because money talks. Money will change a lot of people's idea on whether something's cool,
100.
worth it, fair, or whatnot. I mean, everyone wants to say, "Oh, this ain't cool," until they get a free copy of it, and then they bragging about it, right? This is the best game in the world and stuff like that. I mean, you hear it from people that review games. They'll say, "Oh, this kind of game isn't for me," but if they get a free copy of it, they toting it.
For sure. Let's go to the chat for a bit. Steve Watson says, I'm an Xbox gamer, but PS needs a quality racing title too.
That's messed up, Steve.
Wow, that's shade. Need two.
That's messed up, Steve.
2? Wow. Okay. Osha says PlayStation needs to bring back MotorStorm. No, they don't. That was mid as hell.
MotorStorm was the slander.
He also says I'm done with 343. Come on, give him a chance. Matt Likes Game says it was Toyota. I'm guessing he's answering your question about the company that didn't want the car damaged He also says it's why the Supra coming back in Forza Horizon 5 is a huge deal. Yeah, yeah. My eldest loves tuning cars, and he's pretty psyched about the Supra. I don't really care. Okay. Steve Watson says PS needs to bring back MotorStorm, Twisted Metal, Resistance, Infamous, The Getaway. Ooh, The Getaway.
The Getaway was dope.
Siphon Filter, and Killzone. Wow. Okay.
I'm just imagining The Getaway at 60 frames per second at 4K or something like that. That would be just insane. I remember how dope that game was. Some of those driving scenes were insane, man.
You know what I love most about The Getaway? Like two things. One, it was set in a place out of America, and two, I could drive a Range Rover, and it was written Range Rover on it. It didn't have those GTA names around it.
Yeah.
It was super awesome. And it
that
drove
was in
like
London,
a boat.
right? That game was in London, right?
Yeah. And all the Range Rovers drove like boats. They drove horrible. They were terrible. And I loved it. I freaking loved it. Rel says PlayStation got Need for Speed. They need to bring back Burnout. Huh. Okay. Let's move on. Let's keep it moving. Okay, so Cozy hasn't made a way back. Ooh, Stankmore says Driver is better than The Getaway. Hot take. So let's do some Nintendo stuff.
I feel like they're in the same on the same level, to be honest, for me.
Yeah. Ham, give me your best Nintendo arguments. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, launching November 18th, 2022. Pokemon SNV will include 4-player co-op. First time that there will be a black protagonist. Also, this will be the first mainline entry to feature a full, seamless open world, as well as a host of other brand new features. Ham, please tell us how you excited for Pokemon Scarlet.
Excited. I couldn't be less excited. I can care less.
Where's Cozy when you need
her? Protagonist, right? You said.
Yes.
Cool.
Black protagonist.
It's not for me. It's just it's not my kind of game. But I think there's gonna be a lot of people like Too Big can finally be black in Pokemon. I know he's excited about that. He'll stand out in his home state of Missouri a lot better. I don't really know. I mean, I'm excited for those that are happy to play Pokemon. Bill the Gamer is another person that really likes Pokemon games. I personally, every time I hear Pokemon, it goes in one ear and out the other. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. This is on the same level as Final Fantasy for me. Like, big game, world. The world knows about it. A lot of people really care about it, but it's just not for me. Stankmaw should be in this discussion about this a little bit more, because he's waiting on it. He said he can't wait. He said he can't wait. So, I mean, I know this is a big deal. And I know it's really cool to, be able to kind of look the part when you're playing as your own character. I know when I was playing like a game like Outriders, it felt pretty good to be able to make a brother, even though you only have a very short amount of options.
Do they have afros in Outrider?
No. I mean, they don't really have that in a whole lot of games. So what I'm expecting with that whole, the whole African American thing to be in, the first thing that you're probably going to see from a lot of people is
not African American. Let me correct you right there.
Okay.
There's people with dark skin color around the world, not just
my God,
in America.
Quit being salty about this silly thing. Anyways, The first thing that we're probably going to see or probably going to hear about when it comes to character creation is the low amount of options that you have, because that's usually the first thing that we hear anytime anybody of black descent is added to a game. Is like, oh, this doesn't really embody what we really look like, or something like that. So I'm ready to see something like that. That'll be interesting to see how they implement us brothers and sisters into the game. You know it's going to be a topic. You know it's going to be a topic, Look. It always is. Whenever you can make a character in a game and you can make them, one race or another.
Diverse.
Yeah, people want to see whatever. We're gonna question the way the hair looks first, and it just is what it is. But all of that set aside, because it is a Switch game, and I don't really think they're gonna go too deep into the character creation, because it's not all about that. It's more about the Pokemon and stuff like that. I still think it's going to be a banger. These Pokemon games are always bangers, and I will never care.
I was going to say, they're always bangers. Let's go to the chat for a bit. Man, this is salty. Oshin says, why do people... Dude. Oshin says, why do people care so much at what the protagonists look like? I mean, 99% of Japanese characters do not look Japanese or Asian.
That's
facts.
That's facts.
And they make the damn things, bro.
They look white as hell every game.
Jesus. Okay, I can't believe I'm gonna have to defend critical race theory, but here I am doing it. Oshus, the argument behind this is that the Japanese can do it because they've never been victimized and made into slaves for hundreds of years, and had their countrymen forcibly removed from their home, etc., and all this other stuff. So that's why a lot of people say it's a big deal, because it's not the same thing to compare a white person making stuff that's not about them, because there's lots of stuff that's been made about them, so it's fine. Whereas with black people, there's not a lot of stuff that's been made with black people, so it makes sense to make it a big deal when it does happen. That's what I've been told by people that are like super obsessed with this whole race thing, because me personally, I feel the same way as you. But after they broke that down to me, it kind of made a little bit of sense, because it was like, yeah, it's true. It kind of makes sense. It's not 100%, but it's worth considering. At Metlex Game says Square Enix outlaws all black haircuts in their games. Wow. I don't really play that many Square Enix games, so I wouldn't know if they outlaw that shit. Steve Watson says,
so.
Oh, okay. Too Big says Brown 2, bro. I think that's for you, Ham.
Yeah,
that's for you. Stackmore says 2 out of 3 most anticipated games are Switch games, which is something that I never thought would happen. For real. A lot of people are losing their crap about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I saw some videos about like people trampling over each other when the last Pokemon game came out. That was wild. And some chick had her arm broken. And instead of going to the hospital, she was like, I'm buying this game, and then I'm going to the hospital. That was crazy. Oshie says, bro, Hiroshima. And then, what?
He's talking
like,
about...
no
he's talking
yeah,
about...
he's talking about the victimization or whatever. Dude, I'm sorry, man. Like, this is not the victims' Olympics, but if it was, one nuclear bomb and 50 odd years of struggling cannot be put next to 400 years of freaking slavery, bro. Jesus. I can't believe I have to word this out. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 showcase. Okay, so sorry. Yeah. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 showcase. Ham, what did you think about Xenoblade Chronicles 3?
So I watched it at first take. I was like, the game looks
Did
pretty
you fall
interesting.
asleep? Did you fall asleep?
No, I didn't.
Be honest.
I watched it through and through, and I was thinking, at first I was thinking, no, this game looks pretty interesting. But the thing is like whenever I watch a showcase, that's the first thing that kind of hits my mind is the shock factor of, oh, this looks really cool. I wonder what this is. About 25 minutes, because it was like a half hour long or something like that. The showcase for that specific game was. And I was just like, all right, about 20 minutes into it, I started to get a little like, like the combat style of that game isn't up my alley. So hitting a button and then watching somebody else do the entire move and then timing to hit the next button for the person to do the move and then the next button, I feel like for me, I don't really see myself paying $60 for something like that. That is that's a game that I buy at GameStop for being it's been there for a couple years, and I'm buying somebody's trade-in. That's how I looked at that game after I was done. I was thinking, it'd be cool to try that game, but I ain't buying that at $60. I definitely ain't buying it day one, but I could see, but I know how big the game is for a lot of people, and a lot of people are going to get that day one, even though it's, not the best running game from what Digital Foundry had to say about it, but they did say the game was really nice and really cool and a good carry from the last story. So, for me personally,
Not feeling for it.
I'm definitely not. It's hard for me to fiend for a Switch game. The next Switch game that I'm gonna buy, and this is how behind I am with the Switch. The next Switch game that I'm looking to buy is Cruisin'. The latest Cruisin' game that came out last year. And it's $20 right now. That's how I buy Switch games. I don't buy Switch games day one. I don't. None of them are that hot for me, except maybe like a Mario of some sort. I'm kind of a weeb when it comes to Mario. I'll go on ahead and get those games early. I'll pay $60 for a Mario, even though it's like the same damn game, But I won't do it for 99% of the other Switch games that I feel like are too expensive, or like I just can't justify paying the same price that I would for like a Halo or a Scarlet Nexus or something like that for a Switch game, because it's just not it for me, and I'm not really a handheld gamer. I like playing on my TV, not my Switch.
Okay. S Dankmore says, listen, man, I went to the Pokemon X and Y midnight release. That joint was swarming with people. Couldn't believe it. For real. There's even videos on YouTube about how people are crazy about Pokemon. Metlex Games is laughing at something that Osha says that I will not repeat. I will not repeat that.
You ought to
live
repeat it.
Or
you should repeat it.
Hell no. S Dangmo says, I cannot wait for Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Has Final Fantasy 10 vibes. Okay. I made a couple of notes when I was watching it. First off, I found the English accents interesting. English as in from England. I'm usually used to seeing like American accents, so hearing British, Irish, I think there was an Australian accent there. That was very nice, very interesting. I didn't know it was something I needed in my life. I hope more video games do that. Just put when it says English dub, don't just go and pick the generic Americans. There's people who speak English all over the world. It would be an interesting experience. Mio or Mayo is my favorite character, just because her accent is just freaking delicious.
Delicious, you sick bastard.
Yes, I am. I'm very sick. The ability to switch between the classes with the characters was very interesting. So basically, you can have Mio or Mayo play whichever class you want. You can make a heavy support, whatever you want, and she can do it, and everyone else can also switch between classes and level up the specific classes. So you're not tied into one class throughout the game for whatever player. For me, it's something that's so simple that I haven't seen done with other games. It's genius. Like it's right there, but why hasn't anyone else done it? That's what I thought. The group fashion was very rudimentary, but I'm guessing people are going to enjoy it. The transformation into Ouroboros looked like fun, but I got the feeling it's going to be like a gimmick. Maybe I'm wrong, but I got the feeling that by the 50th time that you do it, you're going to be bored as hell. And yeah, those are my takes on the. Oh yeah, Stankmore says the fusion thing looks dope as hell as well. I'm shocked, Stankmore. I'm shocked that they didn't put the only two black people, uh, paired them so they had to fusion together. I was shocked that they partitioned off to like different white people. That was weird. I honestly, if someone had asked me, I would have put money on it. I was like, they're gonna put both the black people to fusion together, but that's not what happened. That was very interesting. Um, Osha says, I don't see what the big deal is when it comes to Xenoblade series. Someone needs to explain what the big, bro. It's a good game. It is a great game, a great series actually. If you can get your hand on a Switch, you can play Xenoblade 1 and 2. Very good. Let's move on from Xenoblade Chronicles. And PlayStation is skipping Gamescom 2022. In addition to Sony, Activision Blizzard, Take-Two Interactive, and Nintendo have confirmed that they won't be attending Gamescom. Ham, what are your thoughts on PlayStation abandoning Gamescom?
My thought on that is they have something to show that they don't want on Gamescom.
By themselves.
Mm-hmm. They got something to show off. And I feel like they're gonna, because what is it? What's that game that's right around the corner? Female protagonist.
Forspoken,
thank you. That's right around the corner. They're gonna probably have a direct about that, showing a little bit more. Who knows about God of War? They've been, Twitter's been going kind of nuts with that as of lately. Corey Barlog
but
made a tweet.
the actor just puts gifs. He just puts weird gifs, and people just liking and retweeting. Like it's something. It's something. He's saying something.
Yeah, right. And then we have people that are claiming to be insiders that are saying, this game is coming and this year and stuff like that. And I really don't know what to believe about it. But as for this specific question you asked, like how I feel about them not being at Gamescom, I'm not surprised. Yeah. I feel like Sony is doing a good job at separating itself from the need of these other companies doing showcases, and I wish Xbox would take that same dive into like not relying on E3, not relying on like Summer Game Fest kind of times, not relying on the Game Awards and stuff like that. I applaud Sony for what they're doing with their own marketing and not trying to piggyback and make something cool off of somebody else's marketing. I applaud that. I think that's awesome.
Okay, I have a very different view compared to you, honestly. I dislike this whole thing with with the separate showcases or not going to the cons. I think it's
Skip.
inconsiderate. I think
Damn,
it's
Skip.
inconsiderate. Whatever, man. Whatever. I'm just saying, I don't like this thing where now we have to freaking every 2 weeks you have to be checking, is there a showcase? Is there a showcase? Like, is there a presentation? Guys, the beauty of E3, in my opinion, is that we go to one place or during one time, everyone does the thing, and then we can move on. This thing of every few weeks, every few months, there's a presentation, there's a showcase, there's a state of third parties. Bro, not everyone has time to keep up. It's fine for me and you have, but a lot of people are going to miss out because they don't have the time to every few days be checking out Nintendo Directs and all this stuff. Like, I put a poll on my Twitter today, and someone actually asked me on the poll, like, whoa, when was this? And this is someone that actually plays games and stuff. So clearly, we're getting saturated. Okay? In my opinion, everybody needs to sit the hell down. E3, apologize to whoever you have to apologize. Get everyone back together, even if it's a whole month of presentations. But just make it one window and we can move on. This thing where every single month it's something. It's exhausting for me, especially when it comes to like scheduling, because I don't live in the preferred time zones of the US or Japan. So what happens is I don't get to watch the lives. I, I have to then just look at my Twitter and then get all these spoilers, or stay up at 2, 3 in the morning when I have to go to work the next day. I would rather have a whole month where I know I have to be doing this on and off, and then when it's done, it is done, rather than have it be a lifestyle every day, every month, every year. I don't think I don't like it personally.
Oh man, I'm yawning hearing all
back,
of your bitching and complaining.
Before you come back at me, let's go to the chat. Osha says, do people still care about these cons or showcases anymore? I do. That's why it bothers me. Steve Watson says, yeah, these showcases are a great way to find out what's upcoming if you can't watch it every day. Thank you. Stankmore says, Rel, not going to lie, it looks very similar. Oh, sorry. Rel says, Forspoken is a new take on the infamous series, I bet. Yeah, it does look similar. Osha says, I used to love E3, but people forget that E3 died way before the pandemic, and they had to bring it back a couple of years. Bro, I call me the necromancer. E3 is coming back. Ham, go ahead and tell me why I'm wrong about these continuous, unending showcases.
Like I said, I'm fine with these companies making some sort of effort to be on their own. I like that idea. Yes, I kind of agree with you in the sense of, some people aren't available to watch this stuff all the time, especially like when a showcase is like in the middle of the day or something like that. So I agree with you on that point, but I still like the idea of them maybe doing their own thing and maybe just showing off like a reminder at like the E3 presentations and stuff like that. So yes, I think PlayStation should still do their own thing, absolutely, but it would be pretty nice to see them make an appearance and then maybe splash something new just randomly at these events or something like that. But I'm 100% behind PlayStation doing what they're doing, and I wish Xbox would do that as well, because sometimes I feel like it's too far away, too far. Just 1 second, sweetie. Oh yeah, your muscles are really big. Look at that. She's flexing on camera. All right, but anyways, yeah. I really personally believe that it would be nice to see PlayStation at an E3 or at Gamescom and stuff like that, but maybe a lot lighter version than what they've done in the past, just so they can still have those state of plays and stuff like that that I personally like, and obviously a lot of people like.
Okay, Steve Watson says that's because they focus too much on celebrities. Okay, you know what? I will concede that E3 forgot about who was the foundation of E3. It is tantamount to what happened at the Super Bowl a couple of months ago. Instead of having real NFL fans, you had a whole bunch of people that just wanted to be seen at the arena rather than fans. So it wasn't a very good atmosphere. Like besides the performance by Dr. Dre and stuff. So yeah, the whole thing about focusing on the celebrities and even the press, honestly, is it didn't help. It didn't help E3's reputation. But I would still rather have it, honestly. Maybe not a live show, but I'd like to have like one set window that everyone agrees that okay, we're gonna announce our stuff here, or during these 30 days. That's what I would prefer. Even if it's not called E3, I don't care. It's fine. Okay. Osha says, yeah, it became about the booths more than the games. But the games were in the booths. I don't. Okay. Right. So, Ham, we're going to be skipping game predictions because Cozy's not her, and quiz time. So, we're going to shut it off today with notable tweets. This is hopefully they won't be too cringe. Steve Watson says the only celebs that should be there are the ones that are active gamers like Henry Cavill and Snoop Dogg. Yes, but Henry Cavill is a straight white man. Those are not allowed anymore. Snoop Dogg, yeah, I guess Snoop Dogg can get in. They'll probably switch Henry Cavill for The Rock. That's come on, you know I'm telling the truth. You know I'm telling the truth. Okay, so let's get to the notable tweets. Whew, this is why, this is one of the sections why we say this show is not for kids. Here goes. At blah 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 says, and I quote, this is not me saying it, I'm quoting it. Sony is the best of the best, hence why I suck their dick. Microsoft wishes my mouth would open for them, but only the jizz of the elite gets to cross these lips. Ham, go.
I don't like this. I don't. This is that whole tweet was out of pocket.
Bro.
The entire tweet was out of pocket.
When I read it, I just sat back like, wow.
Yeah,
Someone typed it.
I read that tweet like 3 or 4 times just to make sure that I didn't read that wrong. I was just like, wait a second.
Says what? Yeah, no. Man.
Somebody needs to stop that maniac. Like, take his account, take his IP address, just throw all of it away. It's just not helpful for anybody.
Damn.
That was yeah. I mean, Rel nailed it. You said, "What the fuck is wrong with these ponies?" And like,
come on.
And I mean, whether you want to say it's a pony, X-bot, or whoever, these people, these like infatuated gamers of one specific console.
Infatuated is an understatement, dude. I've
Sure.
seen Infatuated. This is some next level stuff. Woo!
like get some help. This isn't it. Like who made this tweet and was like, man, this is great. I'm gonna hit the send button.
Send.
They sent that shit. They really did.
Oof.
They sent it. They put it
Ed
out for the
Stankmo
whole world
says-
to see.
Bro, Ed Stankmo says, where do you even find that tweet? Bro,
It was
Twitter is a
everywhere.
wild place.
It was everywhere.
Yeah.
I seen it. I seen that
Steve
tweet.
Watson also says it was making its rounds a couple of days ago on Twitter. It was fire, man. Like you couldn't unsee that shit. Like,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Wow.
Like I don't even have a whole lot to say about it other than like you're just
Damn.
sick. You're just sick. Like if you're saying stuff like that, like A, you're sick, and
B, you're sick.
Well, like what I'm also thinking is like, man, you are worried about like something touched you in the no spot for you to have to you to have to write this down. Like nobody was like
Attach it to a console.
I mean maybe I'm wrong, but I don't remember ever seeing people say this kind of stuff during the Xbox One or 360 times and whatnot. Like people are really hurting over something like that.
Yeah.
The console that they do not prefer is doing. To say something like this, like for a PlayStation person to say this, says Xbox got under your skin so bad that now we're talking about pieces of people's bodies as like being in your mouth and like doing disgusting things to you, and the amount of simping is at an all-time high right now, and I wish there was somebody from the PlayStation community saying, you know, we need to pick up the phone and get rid of this player right here.
No, whoever
we can't have this person on our team. He don't represent us.
Hey man, they only want the quality jizz. The quality jizz.
Oh yuck.
Let's go to the chat for a bit. Usher
Please.
says, was that the PlayStation girl that got exposed for fake OnlyFans post? No, it wasn't. Steve Watson says, or C, maybe they just hungry for that PlayStation tube stick. Lol. Okay. maybe. Let us move on because this is getting weird. At Wolfie, Ham, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. At Wolfie says, so Microsoft confirmed that there's an Xbox controller shortage. What does that even mean? I'll tell you what it means. PlayStation has not said even in rumors they have a controller shortage. So PlayStation has no games apparently.
What?
Go.
Wait a second. Did you divert that to saying that they have no games, or did somebody else say that?
Dude, I'm just saying what the person says. Ed Wolfie said that.
So he said that
They're
PlayStation
saying-
has no games.
Because they're not complaining about a controller shortage like Microsoft. Completely ignoring the fact that PlayStation already has like their core base of players, whereas Microsoft is clearly expanding. So, what are your thoughts on this tweet?
This is another tweet of somebody just talking out of their ass. It's just blindly supporting something without probably even reading the article. Like, what about Xbox controllers are in the shortage? Is it the custom controllers that are in the shortage? Is it all controllers in general that are in the
All the
shortage?
controllers. all the controllers are in shortage. The
Well,
custom controllers are fine. You can still
well,
go to the lab and make your controller.
okay. Well, then I divert it into this direction. It has nothing to do with PlayStation in general. This just means Xbox players are playing games. That's all it means. It has nothing to do with PlayStation players not playing games or they have no games. Like, I hate that whole this console has no games. It's just bullshit. It's like if
It's
you
like,
don't
bro,
think if you don't think they have games, what you're really saying is they don't have any games for you. That's the way I look at it when somebody says, "Oh, Xbox has no games," or PlayStation doesn't have enough games of some sort of some kind or whatnot. It's just like, no, they got games. You just don't play games. There's a big difference.
pretty much. At Steve Watson says, so don't rage on those controllers, Loke 7. Just don't break them. Lol. Dude, I'm playing Elden Ring. This is my third Xbox controller. So cut me some slack, man. Cut me some slack. Osher says
Why
that
you buy
makes
3
sense, Lol, dude.
controllers?
No, I'm on my third one. I only buy one per. This is my third one.
Why'd you buy 3 already for a console that's been out for 2 years? That's why they run out of controllers, because you keep buying, you keep breaking them.
I broke the other two, man. Jeez. I have anger issues. But the way I break controllers, like I don't throw them to the floor. What happens is when I get frustrated, I do this and then I start twisting it. It's an unconscious thing that I do, and eventually they break. That's what happens to my
Oh
controllers.
Lord, Mav in the chat saying PC has no games.
Oh my god. Bruv.
Man,
Okay, let's move on.
No, but real talk, I hate it when people say a console has no games. It's just stupid. Like, the fact of the matter is, it doesn't have something that maybe you appreciate, or hey, you ain't looking hard enough. There's more games on. I mean, you can pick just one console. You can pick Switch, you can pick Xbox, you can pick PlayStation. They got more games on just one console than you can finish out in a long time.
In a lifetime. In a lifetime.
Thank you. So
Let's be honest, guys. In a
whole,
lifetime.
That whole BS about these consoles or whatever doesn't have games, it's just stupid.
Yeah, it's dumb. Okay, so let's move on to the last notable tweet. This one, we're gonna end it on a positive note. @so_ethereal says Xenoblade 2 was pushing the Switch hardware hard already. So having them going open world for Xenoblade 3 while having even more characters and enemies on screen shows that Monolith are wizards. Ham. Give us your take on this.
I personally think that a lot of these developers don't get a lot of credit for what they can do with the Switch. You've seen Ark Survival Evolved on the Switch. Did it run great? Probably not, but it was there. You've seen Outer Worlds on the Switch, Witcher on the Switch. These games can go to the Switch. They won't be the best way to play them, maybe, but what I'm saying is, I think a lot of people don't give credit due to how hard these developers work behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I am stoked to hear that a game like Xenoblade is getting bigger, it's getting more insane on a piece of hardware that is clearly dated. It's clearly dated. Everybody and their mama knows.
It's the greatest console of all time.
Everybody and their mama knows that the Switch is dated, but the thing is the developers aren't giving up on it. They obviously ain't gonna give up on that money.
They are
either,
shredding. Right? They are shredding it.
but until Nintendo announces, hey, we're coming out with a stronger, bigger, better console, these developers will continue to figure out a way to make it happen. Immortals Phoenix Rising. I mean, and Switch is starting to go the stream route as well. So some of these games are being streamed. They're not all native. So one way or another, Nintendo's finding a way to make that money, and the developers are not having any problems with it. Is
All
what
right,
it
so
is.
suddenly the chat just went wild, and now there's a whole bunch of people in here. You late pricks!
Mav
You
is
guys know what
tripping.
time we start. You guys know what time we start, and then you rock up in the last 20 minutes. Freaks. Anyway, Osha says the only console that doesn't have games is the Switch. Dude, stop capping, please. Yobi says, breathe, bro. I am trying. Y'all need to stop typing. Steve Watson says, way to start a fire. Osha, unless you want to play Super Mario 103. Jesus. Osha doesn't like Nintendo. Steve
No, it's
Watson
clear.
says, clear. Steve Watson says, I have broken at least a couple of controllers with the old school God of War games. Yeah, those are very frustrating, especially those dungeons. Okay. Fun Speculation says, Sega Game Gear has no games. Okay. PlayStation lack great multiplayer first-party titles unless you count Neo 1 and 2. Yeah. Wizards can make awesome games run on potatoes. Wait a second, how are you making my Mavs lose 103 to 68? What? Are you watching my gameplay? What is happening here?
No, yeah,
okay.
he's watching some gameplay. I had to switch it to the behind them sticks background and everything because Cozy's not here.
Okay. Osha says the only reason you need a Switch is for Miyamoto's in-house games. Who tries to run The Witcher 3 or Doom Eternal on the Switch? People want to play Mario Tennis and golf. Jeez! Osha, remind me never to bring up Nintendo in front of you. Wow.
Right.
Jeez.
You just
This guy's
can't.
worse than you.
We can't talk about
He's worse
Nintendo
than you,
with him
Ham.
here. Clearly.
He's worse than you.
hey, I'm over here trying to give Nintendo some props, even though it's not my it's not something that I'm running out to go play. But like Asha's over here slandering.
He's campaigning for them to shut their doors out here, man. Jeez. Oof. Anyways, we have reached the end of this week's episode of Bullsitting.
Somehow
and more
we made
people
this last an
jumping
hour
on.
and 40 minutes. Somehow we made that last
pretty much
for this damn
pretty
long.
much
Impressive.
with Nintendo as the main serving. So yeah, this was fun. I hope we can do more Nintendo focused streams in future. I'm glad to know that the chat didn't get bored with all the Nintendo stuff. Fun speculation.
Ashish definitely didn't get bored. He was lighting it
up. But he's saying here in the chat, I kind of work for Nintendo. How the hell do you work for Nintendo? And you're crapping on them like this. Someone's gonna dox you and you're gonna lose your job.
And somebody get the keyboard away from Mav right now. He's
saying Yennefer golf and Geralt tennis. Oh man. Okay, Ham, please take us out into that cold night.
Go. All right. Yeah. Well, it ain't nighttime over here. We ain't in Africa. But anyways,
it's midnight.
Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. Go on ahead and hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if you like this kind of yeah, right. If you like this kind of content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We'll be back next Friday. Hopefully Cozy's with us. I literally haven't heard anything from her since she just dipped out just randomly, and she was supposed to have some watermelon potato salad or something like that to eat today.
Yeah, I want to see that.
I was interested to see what the hell that was, but she didn't make it here. But Yeah, definitely check me out on Behind Them Sticks every Tuesday and Thursday at various times, depending on who I'm talking to around the world. And yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. I appreciate everybody for coming out, and we will see you next week. Peace out, everybody. See you later.
Adios, muchachos. Ciao.
Appreciate everybody for coming out, and we will see you next week. Peace out, everybody. See you later.
Adios, muchachos. Ciao. Ooh.